use cases sessions, therefore is more like scratching the surface with it and not very technical in that regard. If you'd like to see it in action more, please provide us with the feedback, and we will dedicate a session for most probably next year in which we will look into everything. So how it works, how it can be leveraged through APIs, how threat intel, how feeds actually look like, how the integration is done, and so on and so forth. This is something that we can do. We will definitely need your feedback for that. Otherwise, let's go into the very short demo. And from here, I'm going into the incidents. I have the integration already done, which means the IntelliZone is here. Therefore, all the necessary information already flows in my incidents. So first of all, what I would like to do is to reset filters and make my life a little bit easier in that regard. And I'll go here, add all the fields here. I'll go to the incident type because I said this is visible on the organizational incident page and not just on the endpoint incident. I will actually highlight the organization incidents and apply this filter. And you noticed here I have also actors. I can go, of course, with all, or I can go very specifically with those actors that you are seeing here. I honestly think that everybody had at least once heard the name APT28 and also the Lazarus group. I will apply this. It will show me basically 2 incidents here. And let's go and have a look at them. Basically, as already mentioned, and by the way, this is something that we will be looking into more details next week in the EDR XDR session, and of course the incident management session. Nevertheless, overview with summary with root cause analysis. Organizational impact highlights everything there is to it. Attack tactics and techniques maps from Maitre, but you can see also this part here, and this is shown due to the integration with the threat intelligence itself. And we see a lot of very valuable details. So APT 28, a confidence score of 85%. That means at least 85% we are sure that the actor is indeed from the behavioral APT 28 actor. And then you have a summary of that group and also some basic information like, right, cyber espionage group associated with intelligence agency of Russia, and so on and so forth. A lot of valuable information, I think, right here. You see different aliases because the group uses also a lot of those. And you will see here what the motivation is, information theft and espionage. You see sponsorship, if any, of course, e-crime, illegal access, information theft, espionage, and so on and so forth. First detection in this particular company, this is very important. So it's not the first detection of APT28, but it is the first one in this particular environment. And you can see also some geo tactical information if it targets the country that I'm actually associated gravity zone with, and if it targets your industry based on the vertical that you used in this particular company. we see that it is, since, well, we are talking about a pretty short and small demo environment. It was involved in one incident only, the one that we are seeing right here. No CVs attached, but we have one IOC and some MITRE techniques. If I click on them, I see on the right side immediately what the techniques IDs and the techniques names is. Of course, this is something that I can go and look into here as well. So basically those I can go and view in incidents. It will open a new one where it will filter basically the exploitation and client execution attack techniques and and I can see different other incidents based on that particular parameter. I can go here and say, let's take the same one and view events and alerts based on that, and it will go actually and create a historical search for my usage here, where I can run this query looking at, of course, historical data. If this exploitation for client execution was used as a attack technique on in my environment, and I see here several endpoints showcasing the same. Please join us in the next session, the best practices sessions, where we will be talking for sure about the search, the historical search and the live search mechanisms in depth as well. Good. This being said, one more thing, here are the IOCs, as I mentioned, and in this particular case, it is just one, and this is an MD5 hash. I can either go and copy it to clipboard, go search in IntelliZone for it for more information. And I can view it, of course, in events and alerts, or view it in incidents. I will copy it to clipboard and show you how basically you could investigate even further, or better said, search for IOCs in your environment even further using the MD5 hash that we see right here. And if you remember, you can go to the network, you can choose your endpoints that you'd like to do actually a IOC scan on. I have one unmanaged, therefore the action is grayed out. I will select the ones that are managed, otherwise I cannot do an IOC scan. I don't have the logic on that unmanaged machine, of course, so I don't have the agent to do so. And I can go here and go look for that particular indicator and go have a search, so that I can make sure that on none of the other endpoints selected targets in that context, I'm having this hash, which might indicate a potential compromise. That would be actually all the scope of this session, and we will definitely show this one in the next session, in the best practices one, but sure, why not? Let's do that right now. So basically with Bitdefender, you have two options. You can go and isolate one endpoint. Actually, you have three options. I'll go through all three scenarios, all three use cases. So basically, you can go into the incidents and isolate one endpoint. Let's take this one, for instance, and I can go directly here. So once the endpoint was implicated in an incident, I can go and isolate. Once again, the host in my particular case cannot be isolated at this point. That means either the endpoint is not yet not managed anymore by this company, so that means the agent was uninstalled, or the machine is offline at this point. So I'll take another example so that we make sure we have something that we could use. Let's see if I'm lucky with this one, and I should be. Yes. So this one I'm aware of, and it's definitely online. So there is this particular way. Once the endpoint is actually involved in a potential incident, you can isolate it from here manually. The second scenario is you can, if, for instance, let's go to the scenario that we talked already about. You have an IOC, you have a hash, you do the search as I showed here. Let's go and take this one, for instance, and I go and do an IOC scan with that particular hash that, yeah, I've seen in the APT28 actor probability, and I do now the save, and it will return that indeed this artifact is present on that machine. So it's not yet an incident because since it's not executed, it's dormant. Yeah, it will not be shown in incidents. Nevertheless, I can go here, and even so, I can go and isolate this endpoint. So I can isolate basically every endpoint, even though there is no incident involved. And the third part is when you are using the custom detection rules. And here you can add a new detection rule. Let's go through it, and I will say not path but name, and not parent name but name itself, where the operator contains, let's say, PowerShell.exe. Okay, you can imagine this is a quite stupid example, since it will isolate all machines where PowerShell exe is being executed. So this is not something that I will actually do, but nevertheless, yeah, I will go through without saving in the last step. So it will automatically generate an incident with the severity level high, and I can choose to go with our entire organization or just with machines that have a specific tag. And I can choose the automatic action from here, where I can say, since this rule is active, everyone and everything that actually executes PowerShell.exe will automatically be isolated. And I hope I could answer your questions with this one. Okay, there is a follow-up question, and basically states the following. However, I'm running a remote management tool that syncs with Bitdedender Gravity Zone. That means you're actually most probably managing Gravity Zone through APIs. Is that correct? If that is so, you can do the same actually via API. You can isolate endpoints via API with no problem whatsoever. And I hope I could answer your question with that one. So there is a fourth way, yes, through APIs, that's also possible to isolate. And of course, you can, with the API, somehow orchestrate and automate those actions based on specific events, for instance. This is something that you can extrapolate on, definitely. Good. I noticed there are no more questions, and I promised actually it will be a very short one. It still took almost 1 hour, but please let me give you at least those 7 minutes back, if that's okay with you. Thank you for attending. I hope to see you soon in the next sessions. Please stay healthy and have a nice day or evening ahead. Cheers. Bye.